Yo, 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 it's the NOC, your boy Kuya P, and I'm excited and delighted to be joined with some of the amazing creators behind the second season of Short Circuit. Thank you, Kim Hazel and Riannon Delanoy. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you guys. I absolutely loved your films, Dinosaur Barbarian and Songs to Sing in the Dark. I have to ask you, what was it like having your ideas accepted? And what was the first thing you did when you found out that they're making your project into a short film?
Surreal, extremely surreal. I remember what I said exactly in that moment was that I felt like Anne Hathaway in Princess Diaries, and then I found out I was a princess. I immediately got told it had to be secret, so I couldn't tell anyone that I was picked until they did, because they like to do an announcement for the whole studio. It's very fun. So I immediately speed walked out of the Disney animation building and just walked around the perimeter to try to burn off all the adrenaline, because I didn't want to see someone I know and have them look at me and go, "Why are you so excited? What's happening?" And then me not being able to say anything.
Yeah, so, I remember walking into Kim in the hall after that, because I knew she was told, "Oh, are you making it?" And she's like, "No."
Oh, amazing. Riannon, how about you? What was your emotion like? How did you take the news?
I just had terror because I had submitted this very experimental sort of crazy idea. I didn't quite know how I was going to execute it. I had some thoughts and ideas, but then once they're like, "Oh, hey, you're actually going to make it. Congrats." I'm like, "Oh no, I have to make it." Because I don't know. It's there's a lot of pressure to try and make something that's really worth seeing and putting out in the world. And I wanted to do my best, but it's when it's a really experimental idea and you're not quite sure how it's going to turn out, there's a lot of hold my hand with me, guys, let's do it.
I love it.
It's a trust fall experience. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So how soon did you all individually get started? For yourself, okay, oh my God, my idea was chosen. When did you get to work? Immediately? Did you take a couple days to come into being okay doing this? How soon did you get started?
I don't think it felt real for me until I had my first meeting with Jen Newfield about it. That seeing a meeting on my calendar, which was Dinosaur Barbarian check-in. I was so honestly, I can't remember how long it was. I do know when I was selected, I was working on Frozen 2, and so I had to finish animating on Frozen 2 before I could do anything, and that was really hard because I was so excited. But it was pretty soon after. I want to say maybe a few months for me between getting selected and beginning the process.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I was on another. We're both CG animators in our day job, so it's we're typically animating on a feature or gearing up for the next one. So you kind of have to wait for a lull in projects to kind of hop on into the Short Circuit.
Short Circuit kind of squeezes between feature projects, or now there's other projects, but it's there. We kind of fit in the gaps.
All right, I love it. So with both of your particular projects, it incorporated sound, especially with you, Riannon, and catchy music with you, Kim. I have been singing that a little bit here and there. Just why? For you, Riannon, you said it was very experimental. So just the science of it to me was just amazing. I actually really. I have some other thoughts. It made my creative brain think with how you incorporate that for some other projects that I'm doing.
That's great. I love that. I love when artists can collaborate and sort of cross-pollinate ideas across the creative ecosystem, as it were.
Yes. So just you had to make it happen. Like you, Riannon, said you were a little nervous. Okay, it's real. I got to make this happen. What kind of homework? To me, that it's because, again, the science aspect of it, was that a lot of homework and research to make that happen with your particular project?
Yes, I made a very big show Bible. It's almost here's all the research and thoughts that have gone into it and what maybe it could look like. And so one other thing I had looked into was something called cymatics, and that's the study of sound as it passes through a visual medium. So you might see like on YouTube, like they'll have little petri dishes of water, and then they'll like play a speaker underneath it, and it'll make like really neat like resonance patterns. That's cymatics. And you can play sound through any medium. It could be sand, it could be water. And so that kind of helps tip me off about like, okay, what does this kind of look like? Kind of looks like a mandala, or it kind of looks like interference patterns that you see in other things, and like patterns kind of become shapes. And there's actually really interesting work about turning sound into actual image holograms. So it's like somebody like made like a duck, like a little duck, like child's drawing out of sound, because that's just where the sand would pool based on just how the sound was traveling through the medium. And once you kind of get to that point, it's like, wow, the sky's the limit. We could make any image. And how would animals or characters in that kind of an environment use it?
I love it. Yeah, I was blown away, and it has me wanting to do some research myself. So thank you for that. Kim, your catchy songs. I'm a big Barbarian fan, and
thank you.
That kind of theme, and then you just put this amazing song. Like, I want this cartoon. Can we have this? It fits in that Flintstone era that I grew up with, and I need more. Yeah.
Well, thank you. That is like the biggest compliment. Is that when people want more. So thank you.
So what were some of the influences that you said it was like during lunch that this came to be?
Yeah, it was a joke at lunch about a cartoon hero who you only ever see punching bad guys. What do they do with the rest of their life? Is the rest of their life a mess? Do they take care of themselves? And that's sort of where this idea was born. The reason why the short ended up as a song is kind of twofold. The first one was working within the framework of the Short Circuit program. And the second one was cartoon theme songs, especially in the 80s and 90s, were like the coolest part of the show. I mean, it was like you saw them doing so much cool stuff back to back, like a montage of awesomeness. And I wanted to capture that feeling and then have it be reflected both in like punching bad guys and also vacuuming, like and just
Yes.
the contrast of that. It's a little bit of a spoof, but also a love letter to 80s cartoons. It's both simultaneously.
Heck yeah. Well, I do a lot of conventions and shows. I can't wait to see the cosplay of that character.
I think I'm gonna, if that ever happens, I will cry. I will cry.
If I see it, I'll send you the picture, because yeah, that's amazing. Ladies, it was a pleasure watching this. Thank you for this art. Thank you for the inspiration. Moving forward, you were granted this amazing opportunity. Is there something we can expect, or what has this taught you and what you want to do moving forward, for my last question?
I would love to do more. I would. If this is all that I do, I'm so happy with how it turned out, but I would also love to do more.
Exactly the same answer.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to throw air horns over this. We're celebrating. So when you see the final cut, I love it.
I love it.
So much fun. I can't wait for everybody to tune in on August 2nd on Disney Plus to check this out. Thank you, Riannon. Thank you, Kim. This was truly an honor, truly a pleasure. Thank you, everybody over at Disney.
Thank you, Patrick. So
Thank
great chatting with you.
Don't wait.